Hello there. I am Jaime Elizondo from Real World Ranching, where our goal is to help you maximize your profitability while you improve your land the fastest. Welcome back to another episode of Fat Cows, Fat Wallet podcast. I hope you have been having a great week. And today we're going to talk about something that is transcendental, improving your land at a low cost with management. What is Silvopasture? What is its definition? How can you benefit from it? We have learned some important things in this podcast. For example, that soil humus is the real fertility of your soils. Soil humus was much higher a long time ago, and that's why you hear about grass that was stirrup high or higher and much higher stocking rates. And it also means we don't have that anymore. So we are mining the humus of our soils and we're not putting back or creating more of it. Please invite or share this podcast with others you think could benefit from it, as I want to help as many people as possible to regenerate their land to achieve good for all. Now, I want you to know this. Trees are essential for the best health of your soil and ecosystems. They help regenerate the land and landscape much faster than other low-cost methods. My students of Total Grazing know how important trees are for their businesses and what are the best methods to create the best environment with trees. Silvopasture definition is the deliberate integration of trees and grazing livestock operations and on the same land. These systems are intensively managed for both forest products and forage, providing both short and long-term income sources. This definition is from the USDA Forest Service, but my own definition is different. Silvopasture to me is the integration of trees with grazing and browsing livestock operations to maximize profitability while improving the land the fastest. And this is best done with leguminous or nut trees that can also provide high-quality fodder to our livestock in times of need. This has the potential of huge economic and environmental benefits for your land and is one of the most promising methods of all. Today, we will go through the 5 points on the importance of and why of silvopasture. In the next podcast, I will talk about how to create the best silvopasture to fit your goals. While most recommendations are for trees that cannot be damaged by livestock, as they are using continuous or selective grazing, I am going to base my recommendations on experience on the ground while doing total grazing at high to very high stocking rates. This may seem or sound not very important, but believe me, it makes the whole difference in maximizing profits and improving your land. Number one, abundant trees in your pastures. We need around 30% of the area with trees to maximize their benefits to your land. By this, I mean 30% of the area needs to be shaded. It is best to have species that cast a diffuse shade so that grasses and forages can grow up to the trunk. Normally, I build permanent electric fence on both sides of my tree row to protect them from livestock damaging the tree by peeling off the bark, especially when young. Number two, the best species can be leguminous or not, but with extremely high quality and palatable forage for browsing or co-oping. The following species come to my mind: leucaena, mimosa, honey locust, mulberry, Siberian peach shrub or caragana, etc. Willow. Most important when selecting the species is that they are adapted to your environment, as we do not want to try to grow trees that want to die. 3. Plan with the end in mind. People usually do not like to plan long term, but with trees, it is necessary. Will they be in rows? Will they be in small islands? How many per each 100 feet of row? Which will be the row orientation? What will be the distance between rows? Will they be at the end of the paddock in a certain delimited area, or in rows or islands all over your property? Will it be a single species or a mixture? Will they be directly browsed in time of need, or will they be copiced? Edge effect is where the trees or forest meet the pasture, and it's very important to maximize biodiversity and wildlife habitat. Remember that species like deer, quail, pheasants, and turkeys need a place to hide from predators and pasture to feed in. If you intend to create a savanna effect for wildlife, as in a place that you use livestock graze under total grazing, to enhance and upgrade the environment for your wildlife, like for hunting, then islands spread around the property may be a better option. 4. What are the benefits? Well, trees are mineral recycling pumps, which bring the minerals that have lixiviated or leached too deep for the grass to bring them up to the soil surface. Trees have deeper roots and help recycle minerals to the surface when browsed, copiced, or from leaf fall. The temperature under diffuse shade of trees are lower than under direct sunlight. This means a more efficient nitrogen cycle, which helps grass grow better under them than far from them. I have recorded up to 40% faster regrowth under the diffuse shade of leucaena trees. This means that total production can be increased by planting trees in rows. Now, my total grazing students have learned that stocking rate determines profitability and the speed at which land is regenerated. Let us mention other advantages of integrating trees. Trees provide shade for us and for livestock. Trees provide protection from high winds or cold temperatures. Trees provide habitat for wildlife and insects both above and below ground. This improves biodiversity, which is needed for resilience in your lands. Trees are beautiful to have. Some species provide beautiful blooms and scenic value. And trees can be used to provide much needed fodder for livestock in tough times, serving as standing hay by copicing them. 5. Highly palatable trees give higher nutrition and mineral status than most grasses. This is important as by providing tree fodder, your livestock will be healthier, and in many cases, they help control internal parasites with their tannins, and they control insect pests with their habitats required for birds that prey on insects. Imagine that, being able to save money on protein supplements in the dry season and or hay in the winter with species like willow, mulberry, leucaena, mimosa, caragana, black locust in some environments, and other species in others. Please remember, tree fodder is higher quality than grasses and improve the rumen function by including diversity. Conclusions and recap. Number 1, plan for abundant trees in your pastures, around 30% of the area with diffuse shade. Remember, it is important to protect them from your livestock. 2, select high-quality species that grow fast and have high palatability. Consider if you're going to allow your livestock to browse them directly or if you're going to copice them. 3, plan with the end in mind. Get detailed plans before you start, but do not delay as it takes time for trees to grow. In my case, it was 3 to 5 years for shade and fodder from the first year. 4, consider the many and huge advantages that trees will bring to your life, land, and profits. 5, Remember that tree fodder is higher quality than most grasses and can be used when grass quality or quantity is low. In the next podcast, I will talk about how to no-till drill trees into your pasture to save 30 times the cost it would be to transplant trees. I will also detail the numbers and profits that palatable trees bring into your business. Well, goodbye. Make sure you subscribe to the podcast in Spotify, iTunes, or YouTube. You can also join us on the weekly email at www.rwranching.com/join. Thank you and have a great day.